Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Anthony. This is your WREXfast Club for February 2nd. The Wrexham latest news for February 2nd. Yes, sorry, I got stumbled up there. Was looking at two things at once, but it's the day after an amazing win yesterday with some controversy. Never comes without, of course, with a Wrexham match. But today we got some breaking Wrexham news that we want to get to, and a little bit of a conversation. Might be a tough conversation that we're going to have here. So, some people not like it, but might not like it, and but we gotta have tough talk. We gotta have a little bit of tough talk, especially when we are little over 24 hours left in this January transfer window. And so far, I will say the business that we've done has been fantastic. Hope everyone is having a good Sunday. We'll make this a quick one, just because I know everyone wants to get back to their families. And then we're also doing a Sunday session later on that Ken and I think Patty and Aaron are on. I might come in. I might spend some time with them later on, but anyways, thanks for coming in. Please smash a like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to the Local Pundit 50,001, we are on our way. Here we go. And appreciate all the support that we've had in the last few weeks. So thank you so much. Again, everything goes right back into it that we do. What a great global community we have. But coming off a win yesterday, there's some comments that Parkinson made that I saw this morning in the leader that I want to get to. And as you can see on the thumbnail, it says decision time. And we do have to make a decision. And yes, I'm doing it during the game. And Crystal Palace just scored. Jesus H, Man United, terrible. But yes, there's some comments this morning that I wanted to get to. And yes, and I see right there all about the outgoings now. Exactly. Morning, Matt. How you doing? Matt has a show later on today too. I believe at 11 o'clock. I believe it's going on at 11. That's correct, Matt. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I think the Matt show, let me just digress a little bit. Matt has 11 o'clock show, and we're doing a 12:30 show. So you get full Wrexham all day. I mean, we don't stop here, which is great. So also, too, Parkinson did make some comments about AO yesterday, about Arthur Okonkwo. We're going to talk about that, too. So anyways, let's dive right into it. 7 o'clock. There we go, 7 o'clock. So 11 a.m. PST. That's right. Let's dive into it. As you can see, we did update the table there. Birmingham City still on top. Wycombe, Wrexham, Stockport, Huddersfield, Leyton Orient, and Charlton. Yes, and our live watch along next is on Tuesday, Port Vale. So, but let's dive into some of this conversation that Phil Parkinson had made when he was talking to the leader this morning. And I think it's very interesting. It says, "Never say never." Now, and what does that mean? Never say never. Of course, he's gonna toe that line, which is fine. That's what he has to do. But here's my thought process before I dive into his comments. We bought two strikers. We brought in two strikers. We brought in Jay Rodriguez, who looked very, really good yesterday. Yes, he's 35 years old. We brought in Sam Smith, who looked really sharp yesterday. Yes, we did play defensive, but really sharp. And I like the two of them up front. JM's coming back. Mofal can't go out on loan, so unfortunately, Mofal might be the one that's going to play in the Joey Bag of Donuts game on Tuesday. I think he's a good talent. I think he's for the future. And then we're going to get into the tough decisions after Fletcher. He's gonna stay probably to the end of the season. He's been fantastic, a great servant, and one of the guys that I believe that's kept us in third 100%. And then moving on, it goes to Paul Mullin. And it goes to Ollie Palmer. Now, I'm going to leave out all the rumors of off the field stuff right outside of it too. But just basics right now. Ollie Palmer does put the shift in. Ollie Palmer has played the big man role. And also JM. My apologies. I forgot about JM too. JM's coming back, and I think he's going to play a big part for the second half of this season as well. So you put that in. We have a lot of forwards right now. And I think we need to clear out one more space. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong. Although Mofal does not count at the 22 because he was under 21 of the calendar year. So that just leaves Mullin and Palmer, and that's been the big discussion over the last couple of days. Palmer, he divides. Okay, he divides us in our fan base. Yes, he's a good servant, has done well for the club, has scored goals. Great on defense, not so much on scoring goals, but Parkinson likes to use him in certain roles. So again, Matt is right there. It's all about the outgoings now. I don't know if we'll bring anyone in. If we do, I'll be shocked. If we do, I think we did really good business those last couple of days. The Rodriguez one was a surprise to me. The getting Sam over the line is fantastic. But I'm going to go out and I'm going to go out on a limb with, and I do have them on there. I think Palmer's going to go. Okay, I think Palmer will go. It's just my thoughts. It's just my feeling. What say you? I think Mullin's going to stay. If I'm going to go out on a limb, I think Palmer's going to go and Mullin will stay. If Mullin does go out, maybe it's a loan. I don't know, but I think Palmer will be the one that's going to be going out. And don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if that happens late or early, but that'll be a tough decision. I also say, if I'm going to say talk out of both sides of my ass, if Mullin goes, I think that's a PR nightmare. He is a talisman. He's come back. He's done so well for the club. And if he leaves now, like I said, I don't want to get into the other stuff with, family, all those things, and where he wants to go close. But I could see Mullin staying and Palmer going. That's it. Will Palmer get game time now with all this? If he does stay, I doubt it. I absolutely doubt it. I don't think that we're going to play that style. I think that the style that we played up until this point, yes, yesterday was a difficult game, is going to be different. We were putting balls in the channel, and the guys were running into it. I think we're going to change our style, and I don't think it'll adapt to Palmer style. Mullin could get on the pitch. Mullin could get on the pitch. I think he still has something to give out there. And listen, he is coming back from a surgery, and it's unfortunate. Sorry, people are buzzing me as we're talking. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's a business. Sometimes it is a business, and we have to talk about it. It is the business side of things. And I'm going to bring this up too. As you can see, I'm over my shoulder there. There could be ins and outs at Wrexham on deadline day. Who would come in? I mean, we talked about maybe a defender. I don't know. I don't necessarily think we need a defender. In my opinion, I think we have enough. I just think we are a little bit at 6s and 7s because we're chopping and changing. And I think Brunty coming back is a big positive. So we'll leave that to the side real quick. What's going on, Steve Barton? And I'll get to the chat in a second, but I just want to get to this article that I've been talking about for a second. So Phil Parkinson has refused to rule out any adding to his squad before the winter transfer window closes tomorrow. And by the way, we will be doing a long show tomorrow. And says he did bring in Ryan Longman. Yes, by the way, Ryan Longman plays up front. Ryan Longman did not look good at left wing back. He looked good at on the wing. So just keep that in mind there too. We still got to get 11 players on the pitch too. Having already brought in winger Ryan Longman from Hull City, the Reds bosses signed 2 strikers on Friday, Jay Rodriguez and Sam Smith. And I so think that these guys are great. Jay had 6 months left on his contract. We gave him an extra year. So he's got 18 months. He's got a year and a half, which is great. Sam Smith coming in from Reading is an absolute steal. This guy's going to score goals for sure. Parkinson was asked after the game, after the Crawley game yesterday, whether new signings will follow. Parkinson said, we're gonna assess a few things on the way back. Now, they were traveling back from Crawley. I don't know how far Crawley is away. Those of you in the chat can figure that out. Just let me know. I know it's not close. I believe they took a jet back. So, hey, fancy stuff, which is great. A PJ, always awesome. Gotta love it. He said, we're going to assess a few things on the way back. You never say never, but this week has been a good week for us in the transfer market, and that will give the lads a lift. And it has given them a lift. You saw yesterday. I mean, Matty James coming out and scoring an early goal is fantastic. I mean, granted, he's not a striker, but you could see the passages of play that we have there. They were working for each other up front, movement. Yes, we did score the goal. We did revert back to some old tactics that might not suit some of the players that we have on the pitch these moving forward. But, Parkinson wanted to get those 3 points, and I think it was really valuable. But he said, gave the lads a lift. We were clearly down after the Stevenage loss, after the Shrewsbury loss, all those games that we just, Turd Ferguson games. Like, we can't go and do that. But we were clearly a little bit down. But the best thing about it is we wanted to get back on the pitch and play. And it looked like we did that yesterday. A lift with 3 points and also bringing new guys in. Always will lift the squad, especially when you're bringing in good talent. Again, he goes on to say, you can sense that everyone was looking around. Come on, are we going to bring someone to give us in a lift? Sorry. That's a pretty interesting statement there from Phil Parkinson. Everyone's looking around saying, come on, are we going to bring in someone to give us a lift? Were we down? Yeah. Yeah, you could see that Elliot Lee had a smile on his face yesterday. Granted, we don't have VAR. Yes, I did see the video. But for me, it's like things balance out. By the way, if you did follow, didn't follow, things do balance out. But I don't care. My point is, Elliot Lee has been playing out of position, and he didn't like it. You could tell. You put him back in his position, yeah, and he comes in and he scores a late winner. I mean, late winner, like last second of the game. Which I don't know how much more I can take of that stuff. By the way, it's amazing. But they were looking around for someone to give him a lift. Interesting there, him to come out and say that. Now that's after the business has been done, okay? After they did the business. So, they were leading up to it. Goes on to say, we needed to do that and we have done it. So again, we needed to do that and we've done it. I want to know what you guys and gals think out there in the chat about that comment. Come on, we're going to bring someone in to give us a lift. I mean, remember how we said a couple weeks ago, if we don't get somebody in, we'll go as we are. We have enough to get over. I think this is the push all around as a club. Like, we're going to go up. We're going to try. We're going to really push on. And John Merrill's in the chat. Birmingham City are leading the way. So, that's one thing we're going to chase down. Let me get a little bit of chat going on here. Claire Marie says, said perfectly, Josh. I mean, says nobody ever. But thank you, Claire Marie. And good morning, Dan Moore. I know this isn't football, but I'm devastated about the Luka trade. Sorry, I missed that one. Tess says, I mean, if Mull stays, does he get game time with the 4 strikers in total in front of him? And that's where I'm going with this. And there's more in this article I want to get to. I don't know. I think Mull's unfortunately hasn't come good this year, but he's a good player. He is a good player. And there is something for him to give to the team because he doesn't stop running around. Granted, the ball's not been in the back of the net, but with the strikers we have, he has definitely fallen down the pecking order, and he's even fallen down the pecking order that Parkinson was willing to play Elliot Lee in front of him next to Palmer. But I feel like we're going through a transition literally right now. Right now, we are literally going through a transition in the last week. So I'm not sure. Does he get in? I don't know. Tess, I don't. That's a great shot there. There's a reason Mullin is Welsh Pool, not Palmer. Mullin will stay. I appreciate everything Palmer's done for the club, but he's got to get some game time elsewhere now. That's a good honest shout, Claire Marie. And Nikki D says, "What's up?" Monkey Pucker. Okay, they're still talking about this. I'm trying to sort through the Luka Doncic trade. If you know about the Luka Doncic trade for the Mavs to the Lakers, yes. Afternoon, all. It says John Merrill. Listen to one of the post game shows this morning. Did I see you say let's go for the title, Josh? On the beers yesterday, weren't you, John Merrill? It is not over. It is not over, and I did say that. It's over when it's over. It's over when it's over. There you go. Love the banter, though. He's great. Love you, John. But it's over when it's over. I'm not convinced that Parky can best use these players now. Well, Brian, that's something to be said, and we're going to get to that. Going back to the article, he says, he's also pleased to be adding new strikers. He said, I know everyone was getting frustrated that we hadn't gotten a striker in and no one more than us. Those are big words. Those are big words. I know that everyone was getting frustrated that we hadn't gotten in a striker and no one more so than us. Those are big words to come out publicly and say that. By the way, the Wrexham winner up 4-1 in the 72nd minute. Awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Those are big words for a manager to come out and say. Now, again, he's got Paul Mullin. He's got Ollie Palmer. He's got JM. He's got Mo Fall. He had Bud Vartan, who's scoring goals with Burton. I think that's a big statement. And it says something. We went out and we got 2 new players. We did. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do now? Will Ollie Palmer go? Will Mullin stay? It's decision time. It's something that needs to be sorted out and needs to be talked about. And yes, servants or not, but this guy wants to go up and win games. And I know we are a club that does care about our players. And the family and the towns and everything like that. I understand that. But sometimes business is business. And, think about it, too. You think Ollie Palmer's pissed that he's getting dropped? You know what I mean? He's played every game. I think he's probably pissed. You think I think Mull's technically shows sometimes a better attitude. I don't know. I don't know them personally. And, again, no personal attacks that it is. But you got to be pissed if you're like, what? You're going to drop me now and you bring in better players, allegedly? So I've been here. I mean, this is all stuff that's being kicked around, and there are conversations to be had, and I know they're happening right now. Right now. Let me see. Josh, it's over. We're going for second. That's all. Okay. Well, that's your opinion, Tess. There you go. And Tess also says, when Parky says no more frustrated than us that we haven't gotten a striker, that also means we are very much happy with the strikers we already had. We're not happy with the strikers yet. Okay, I agree with that. Good shout there, too. I wish they would stream the Wrexham women's games. They do. They're on iFollow, by the way. Getting off stream there. Sorry, too. Palmer must go, says Brian Burton. I mean, that's a good shout, Brian. Okay, but I think these are big words. I mean, he does. Oh, it's a head injury in the game here. I hope he's okay. Or a leg injury. Oh, no. Sorry about that. I digress. I apologize. Sorry. It's a live show. Touching buttons here. Shoot the rehearsal. You know how we do it here. Okay. Parkinson goes on to say, I can assure you that it wasn't for lack of trying. As I've always said, to prize someone like Sam Smith away from a club where he's their top scorer is not easy. Can you imagine what was going on? I don't know how long. I'd love to get we'll obviously know during Welcome to Wrexham how long they've been going after him, because it'll be done by then. How long they've been after Sam Smith. And then it's unfortunate for Reading. This guy's a player. He's 26 years old in the prime of his career, and getting into it'll be couple 4 more years of it too. It's not hard. So in the background, Parkinson is not stupid. He's very well trained in media, very well trained in media, and he knows what he's saying. And he never gives, we talked about a couple shows ago, he's never going to give you any which way, you know what I mean? And he's really good at that, and you got to respect him. He's a professional. He's been doing this a long time. Martinez knee is busted. Oh, shoot. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. But he said not lack of trying. We also will have the Wrexham tax going in there too. So getting Sam away and having Reading having an embargo, that's a tough one too. Goes on to say, this is where Parkinson's great. But to credit everybody who worked exceptionally hard, and now we've got 2 good players in building, which are going to be big signings for us, and they are. To get the option to bring in Jay, it seemed too good to turn down. He will produce key moments for us as well as we go along. I think Jay looked really good yesterday. Really, really good. We were not playing and attacking. We were not attacking a lot as much as we would like, just because of the situation of the game being away and how Crawley played, understandably so, frustrating or not. Those 2 guys up front looked good. Jay is a player. You could see that he's fox in the box himself, gets himself into good positions, made some good runs. Through balls were happening. We don't usually do through balls because, to be honest, the only guy that could do it was JM, and JM's been injured for most of the season. Paul Mullin, we put him in the channel out in space, and Paul Mullin maybe wouldn't be the guy that doesn't have a lot of space, and we absolutely know that Palmer plays with his back to goal, and putting the ball through to him was never going to happen. But guys like Sam and Rodriguez, absolutely going to happen. So it's awesome. And not to turn that down, he's got Premier League experience for Jay. Rodriguez is great. He's absolutely great. So honestly, it's a big boost. All this is a big boost. Going on to say, yes, we have a 22-man squad, but remember the under 21 guys, Seb and Mofal, they're going to stay. And we can't. I would actually love to put Mofal out on loan, but we can't because he's played for 2 clubs, and you just can't do it. We're not going to sell him. We paid 500,000 quid for him, whatever it is. He's going to be here, and I think he is one for the future, no matter what anyone thinks. But the best news for Mo in this scenario would be for him to go out alone, but it's not going to happen. Expect Mo to play on Tuesday night, though. Mo's going to definitely play on Tuesday night, and I think he's a good player. I think he'll come good. Absolutely, I think he'll come good. So moving out, we did move some people out. Still staying with the article here. James Jones went out to Burton Albion. I think Fleur runs that club too. That's where Dad Bod is. So that's the thing. He said, we're going to have a good chat on the way back, because we've had a very good and hectic few days as Parkinson. Sean Harvey is with us on the journey back, and we'll decide where we go in the next few days. They're just sitting back there, and they're just in the back of a plane or whatever they're doing, maybe at the turf, just talking and putting things together. And we have some business to be done, because I believe that we are going for it. Not that we weren't before, but I believe we're going for it. I respect what we're doing. I will come out and say, Martinez is going off with a bad knee injury. Oh, that sucks. I had said a couple weeks ago I didn't think it was going to happen, and I'm eating my words 100%. I always wanted to be wrong, and I'm happy I am wrong. I really am. Let me just get back in here a little bit here. Martinez busted his knee. That sucks. And John Merrill, our Birmingham City supporter, by the time you play the next game, you'll be 11 points behind us. I expect you got to aim for something, but let's be realistic. We have lost 2 games all season. Absolutely, John, but I'm still not going to anoint you the champions. Just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I will congratulate you, but I'm not going to do it. I think you will. Do I think you're going to win? Yes. Do we have a chance? Absolutely. So you're saying there's a chance? Yes. But I'm not going to anoint you the champions. There you go. Paul Jones says, we could have the Liverpool front 3 and still struggle. No service with some old tactics. Paul Jones, that's something we'll talk about probably, as we go through the season. I think things will change, in my opinion. I think he's going to adapt. I think we're going to adapt to our new signings. How long does Parky get if we get the promotion? If we're mid-table by mid-season next season, how long do we stick with him? Also, conversation for another day. I think Parkinson has done a fantastic job. If we go up, we'll see what happens. What the turnover is, I don't know. That's a conversation for another day. Tess says, I could see Palmer saying that he was told that his role really wasn't to score goals and that he's being punished because Mullin and Lee wasn't scoring. None of them are scoring. You're probably right. Our defensive utility striker, we need to score goals. And also, mid-season pivot. We are in a catbird seat right now to go up. Got to take the opportunity. And the signings that we did make with Lee and Rodriguez and Longman is all offensive. All offensive. Our defense, to be fair, has been insanely solid. One of the best in the leagues, in my opinion. Yes, we had a bit of a wobble. There's just been adjustments here and there between O'Connell and Scar, Max getting injured, coming back, Brunty getting injured, coming back, Stash coming in, all this stuff, all the AO going out, which I'm going to talk about AO in a second here. But all those things happening, there's been an adjustment. Dobson going out and coming back in, Matty James filling a role in. So, it hasn't been too smooth. We have been hit by an injury bug like you read about on up and down the pitch. So there you go. Good shout there, by the way. 5-1, the women are winning the 77th minute. Awesome, Steve Barton. That's great. Why would away prevent a striker from scoring? I don't know what that means, Brian. Absolutely, Glenn. There's nothing impossible. Every point matters to the fact that the gap between us and getting the bigger, not smaller. Absolutely, John. You guys are great, but you're still in the mud. Our mud is called champions. There you go. All right, moving on. There's another thing I wanted to get to here in the BBC Sport. But have your say about Mullin and Palmer. In my opinion, I think Palmer will go. I'd be shocked if Mullin went. I would. I'd be even more shocked if both of them went. More shocked if both of them went. And I'm leaving out a lot of the rumors out there too. I'd be more shocked if Mullin went. I'm not going to be shocked if Palmer goes. So let's see what happens. Tomorrow's a big day. We do have the transfer window show. We're doing it for a couple hours tomorrow. It's gonna be fun. A lot of people coming in for that one to come in and hang out. It's just gonna be I think we're going at 12:30 tomorrow. Yeah, so we'll do that. All right, moving on. Let's talk about this update on Mullin and his injury and Okonkwo, which I thought was very interesting. Move this back down. They're going to touch of buttons. It's very simple these days sometimes, isn't it? Parkinson gives a Mullin and Okonkwo update. So there he is right there. Phil Parkinson does not believe Paul Mullin's shin injury is serious. He doesn't believe it's serious, okay? I'm not saying it is or isn't. As the striker awaits results on a scan. I don't know when it'll get scanned. I'm sure it'll probably be tomorrow. If not, if he hasn't done it already, I don't know if they work on the weekends. I have no idea. We'll see. Mullin, 30 years old, was not included in the matchday squad, but did travel as Parkinson's Med secured the 2-1 victory over Crawley Town yesterday. Parkinson said it's just a minor problem with Mulls. Okay, that's a good sign. It's a minor problem. A shin injury, so it's got to be an impact injury. I don't know, something like that. Probably an impact injury. Maybe a shin splints. I don't know. I said until we get the scan, I don't want to put you at risk because we've got a lot of football to play. Hopefully it's nothing serious. I don't think it is. It just wasn't quite right. So very cryptic there of what he said to Mullin. Very cryptic. You can read into it that, okay, maybe they're trying to move him on and they didn't want to play him. I mean, that's something that could have been done. I don't know. Take that for what it's worth. but very cryptic there. I can't get any words right today. Jesus. Very cryptic there. And again, if you want to read into it and be a little conspiracy theory, maybe he doesn't have a shin injury. Maybe he is, maybe someone did come in for him. Maybe it is Port Vale that's been talked about. With Palmer not being there, is it Gillingham that really wants him? I don't know. But for this one here, they want to put you at risk. You've seen guys. I mean, Marcus Rashford has been injured for a long time. Ill. Like they do in hockey. It's an upper body injury or a lower body injury. I mean, they don't really do that here in football terms, but maybe they want to risk him because he might be leaving. I don't know, but he said, "Let's take him at his word." Is that there's a lot of football to play, and they didn't want to risk it. So there you go. Now, is it a break? That'd be pretty. I didn't see him walking around yesterday, so anyone who was at the match, let me know. Let me know if we did see him. Glenda, yes, he was at the game yesterday. I don't know what that was. If he was walking around or not. So let me see. Parkinson went on to say, when you've got players like Jack Merritt, Stephen Fletcher, and those options, there's no need to risk a player. Now, he just said we have players that are coming back. Fletcher, Jack Merritt, new guy, Jay, and Sam. I mean, the writing could be on the wall. I don't know, but there's a lot happening there. There's a lot happening there. And by the way, Jack's coming back, and he looks pretty sharp, by the way. Looks pretty sharp. Coming off an injury like that. Good for him. Go on to say, they were right with the lads in the dressing room, says Mullin, and all the lads who didn't make the bench, like George and Jacob, were right with us, and that's what we've always been about. Not sure why he said that. Of course they would be. We got a lot of games left, and everyone's going to be utilized. So that's an interesting comment right there. We got a lot of games left, and everybody's going to be utilized. Now, Parkinson, from your lips, use them. You know what I mean? From your lips, got to use them. Spurs are winning a football game. Yes. Yes, Mullin was at the match, and I saw the cam several times. He walked out of the tunnel with the cup of noodles. Well, you got to eat. You got to eat. So George didn't make the bench, so he's alive and can play. Good to know. George is alive and he can play. He's going to play tomorrow on Tuesday. He'll play on Tuesday. But they always talk about the camaraderie, and he did bring it up right there. I could see Mendy playing and George Evans playing. If Mulls, well, we'll know more on Mulls. If he's out by tomorrow. If he doesn't, if we do get rid of him, I don't know, but we'll see. But I expect George to play and possibly Mendy to play on Tuesday. But said we got a lot of games left. We got to utilize our players. Let's hope he does. Because some rotation doesn't hurt, mainly with Maka for my thought process. Now, moving on to the Arthur Okonkwo stuff. Yesterday, when the team sheet came out, it was the big red flags that the Chomp was in goal. I was surprised at that. But I'm also at the same time, I wasn't surprised. AO had possibly his worst performance as a goalkeeper in the Wrexham shirt, and I don't hold him accountable. I hold him to a standard, but I don't hold him accountable because he's a young guy and he's just coming back from injury. And the comments here that were made by Parkinson say a little bit more, and they're doing really good at keeping things out of the media. Unless they want to deliver things out, which is good. I mean, there's a lot of eyes on Wrexham, as you know, globally. I mean, we know we're in Los Angeles here, and we have a global audience ourselves, but there's a lot of eyes on it. And something didn't seem right with AO when he came back. He wasn't controlling his box as much as we would like him to. He was a little hesitant, and it showed. I mean, when you come back from a wrist injury, remember last year the jaw injury, it's interesting. But the comments here by Phil Parkinson are very interesting. Goalkeeper Arthur Okonkwo was an unused substitute as against the Red Devils, with Mark Howard stepping in at Broadfield Stadium. And Mark did a decent job yesterday. Again, do not blame him for that goal. You could have 9 goalkeepers in there. No one was getting that goal. That was a fantastic wonder strike. Okay, howitzer, I think someone said. I think it was me. Parkinson goes, and I quote, "With Arthur, he's not been quite right since he's come back. We probably put him back too soon, and he probably needed to come out." What? Came back too soon? Wasn't quite right? Mentally? Physically? What is it? He said, "The next couple of weeks are really important for us. Mark is a cool head and played like an experienced goalkeeper we needed today." This was yesterday's comments. We just said it in the dressing room. We've always been about the squad and the group, and it was typified that the lads who weren't in the team today. Got to give credit to Mark Howard for coming in and doing a job. He's 37 years old, 38 years old. He did a great job. When asked upon, he's come and he's delivered. So good on him. But the more interesting news is AO wasn't right. We brought him back too soon? We have a habit of doing that. We do. Now, granted, we did bring back a goalkeeper off of a loan. Liam came back, so there's a reason why. Unfortunately, again, back to our injury crisis, AO goes down, Callum Burton goes down. Callum Burton, I thought, was our best all-around keeper. His kicking was good shot stopper, controlled his box, probably the best out of all of our keepers. Unfortunately, he did go down. Having said on AO, he wanted to take him out of the limelight. I don't know if is he protecting him? Yes, a little bit. He is protecting him. He wanted to take him out of the limelight, and he felt like he was being rushed back on the sidelines with a wrist injury. So that he's got to own that one. Players are always going to tell you they can play. So Parkinson needs to own that one, and I guess he did. By pulling him. Now, I think we have a problem with bringing players back. Remember Jacob Bendy last year came back on a dodgy pitch and ripped his leg off. You got to own that one. So Conco's a young guy, 23 years old, came from Arsenal, fantastic player. So if he's not right, he can sit and he can rest and get better. I think he is still our future, but very interesting comments there by the gaffer. I don't know what everyone thinks about that, but it's can Mark do a job? Yes. If we're getting we're right now in the business end of the season, and yes, it is February 2nd, and it is the business end of the season. I hope that AO gets back to his best, and we put him back in there because he did not look his best. Two goals went right through his hands. The third goal the other day wasn't his fault. I mean, it wasn't his fault, but obviously he's not back to his best. Protect him. Maybe it was just you sit for one, watch, then come back in. I hope he does better. Foz 2.0 is a good goalkeeper from what we've seen him. He might be playing tomorrow night. I would see that probably happening. AO is the best goalie in League One. Chris, I agree with you. He's one of the best. He's one of the best, Chris. He might not be the best. He's one of the best for sure. But he had a bad game, and it happens. It does happen. He's a young guy. He's going to make mistakes, and I'm not going to hold him. I'm holding him to a standard, but I'm going to give him a slight pass because he's a young goalkeeper still learning his trade. I like that. Nikki D says that makes you wonder if that 8-0 goal tried to push to one side and missed. Made his wrist sore. It's your wrist, man. It's your wrist. And then you gotta remember, coming at really hard balls coming at you, like that being struck so hard. Those footballs are hard when they're going at speed and pace. And so, that's his livelihood right there. And maybe it did. Josh, did you see that Stace said that she heard that Luke McNicholas was injured the entire time on loan? I would have assumed he'd start Tuesday, but I wonder if he's still hurt. If that's the case, then you got to play Foz 2.0, in my opinion, right? And I hope that's not true. John Merrill says, managers bringing players back too soon from injury happens. Davies, for us, admitted Stansfield's have hardly been match fit since he returned. Yes, and it did show. He did mention that after the game, and you had a great shout in the Wrexham time after that match we played with you guys 2 weeks ago, which is good. A good break is coming up. Yes, a 2-week break, which is great. So the teams can get together and actually get on the pitch, which I'm excited about. And Aaron says, sounds like he's just protecting his player from scrutiny. I think I can see that a little bit. And if he's not right, whether it be mentally or physically, you have to do it. He's still a young player. Good to see you, Aaron. Hope you're well, brother. It's wild we only have 2 league matches all in all of Feb. Yes, and they're all away, Tess. Chris Phillips says, one of the best, fair enough. I'm a little biased, seemed like a great kid and a freak athlete. No, he's great. Chris, I think he's great. But you can't, John will argue that Alsop, whatever the hell that guy's name is their best keeper. And, AO has been fantastic. I think he's got, 14 clean sheets? You can't deny it. He is great. I like him a lot. He's a good keeper, and he's one for our future. But you know, we got to protect him. So fair enough. Brum goalie is playing at a higher level than AO. I mean, he's a good player too. I think it's Alisov. I'm not sure his name, but anyways, it's everyone now. Ruth for the women's game. It's great, and Manchester United are going to lose. Okay, all right. I'm going to get everyone out of here. Just a quick one. Okay, Nikki D lives warm here. I heard from Rochester fan that McNicholas was doing really well until he got injured and then came back in the lab because okay, interesting one. Bristol versus Peterborough game is on tomorrow. Well, we're doing a live show tomorrow, 12:30, being a long one, so it'll be on in the background. Chris, we'll be doing our transfer window close day. Yellow ties only. Yellow ties only. There you go. Sam Tickle at Wigan is arguably the best. Says John Merrill, possibly. He looked pretty good. And wasn't able. Okay, cool. All right, here's the lineup for today. We have a show at 12:30, Sunday session. Yes, Sunday session. Ken will be holding that one. If I can get back in time, I'll be there. What's going to be on the agenda for the Sunday session? Let me read it because I have access to private chat. Let me see here. 1 second. Here's what's going to be happening on the Sunday session. You know, Ken thinks he's a little more organized than I am, and he is. He says Sunday session will be covering the bricks. Talking about the cop, debriefing of where we're at in the season, and reviewing the games that are coming up, and talking about Port Vale. So there you go. And you know, good stuff. If anything breaks, we'll come in as we always do on the local pundit. Any breaking news, we will be here covering it for Wrexham. The next live watch along is the Port Vale game, and then obviously we cover all of them. And again, it's been a busy week. I mean, a busy week, absolutely busy week, but it's fun. This is great, right? This is great. Mo Fall married on Tuesday, maybe. That's a good shout. I just want to see Mary back to fitness, but. Please get into the chat. Let us know what you think about Palmer and Mullin going. My take is I think Palmer's going to go. I think Mullin will stay. That's my take. I think Palmer's going to go and Mullin will stay. I don't know how Palmer will go, where he'll go, but I can see, you know, bringing in two class strikers like Jay and Sam, especially a younger 26-year-old guy. I could definitely see that happening, moving on, especially with JM coming back. And unfortunately, sadly enough, I think the sacrifice will be Palmer, and I think unfortunately for Mo Fall, I think he's going to be sacrificed as well. And he hasn't played that much this season. I think he's a good talent, but he'll probably play on Tuesday night against Port Vale. But those are the guys I think are going to be sacrificed. And if Mullin goes, I will be shocked. I don't know how to spin that one. I couldn't square it. But if he wants to play football, understandably so. And the rumor is Port Vale had come in for him, maybe one other team as well. Again, just rumors. But we'll see. So smash a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Thanks for coming in. Go check out the Sunday session later. Again, Racecourse is having a show at 7, so you get a full Sunday. Get a full Sunday. Again, appreciate it. And on that bombshell, we will see you all soon.